Welcome to Jurassic Palms 1998, my brand new Jurassic World Evolution 3 project, in which we are building a 90s inspired park with a lot of cool detailed builds, many animals, many cool things. Let's get started. And with that, welcome to the very first time-lapse of the brand new project Jurassic Palms 1998, my main park project. And if you are new to time-lapses because you are used to seeing Jurassic content from the kind of old Jurassic Park or Jurassic World Evolution games where there was no piece-by-piece building and not that big of a need of a time-lapse, hey, this is what we're doing here. You know, we're building parks, we're doing time-lapses, and we're doing this very detailed and very much focused on unnecessary but great details indeed. This is my brand new project, and you've seen already in the intro a bit of a spoiler where we are going with this, because I have already prepared a couple of episodes for you guys for the upcoming 2 weeks. So I will obviously continue building, so after that we are going to continue, but so you are aware of what to expect in this project. So I should begin with the first things first, and this is the entrance building we are doing over here. But why on earth is it 1998? Well, I'm gonna explain, okay? So I think the main reason, the very simple reason, is that I'm absolutely into the 90s. I am born in the 90s. Well, technically, I'm actually born right into the 90s at the beginning, the 12th of January, 1999. So I could call myself a real 90s kid. Despite the fact I never thought that's actually a clever depiction. I think if you're born in the 90s, you're more likely a 2000 kid. And if you're born in the 80s, you're like a 90s kid, because for me personally, it's about where you have the most memories of your childhood. So for me, it's kind of both, obviously, 90s and 2000s. But anyways, I just wanted to go for this style. I wanted to go to this kind of neon 90s, late 90s kind of Miami vibe, but also we are not going to focus too much on Miami. It's going to be like a mixture of US, European kind of 90s style. We're going to have a lot of references to the 90s, some nerd stuff, but also equally some very cool kind of pop culture references as well. There's going to be a lot of cool architecture stuff going on in this project. I have a lot of references pulled from the interwebs where we can really go into some well-known architecture from the 90s. Obviously, we're going to start with some funky kind of Main Street arcade mixture vibe, you know, typical neon colors, most likely turquoise. I don't even know how to say that in English correctly. And pinkish colors. My daughter, by the way, she's all into that project. She saw me preparing that and she was like, oh my god, Dad, I like the colors. Can you please do more of these colors? I want everything to be pink. And I was like, maybe everything is a bit too much, but you know, here we are. And we are going to have super themed habitats. May I say also, sorry if you expected animals in this video, but yeah, no, we are not going to see any dinosaur in today's first episode. I'm sorry, okay? We need to set the stone, the first stone, and need to set the vibe of the project first. And that is most likely not going to be with an animal. I can already confirm there's not going to be any animal involved, but that shouldn't keep or hold us back from what this project is going to be. It's going to be a very, very high budget park, and I haven't really talked about the second reason. The second reason why I'm going to go 1998 is because it is right after the events of the San Diego incidents, or actually after the Lost World, which unfortunately is obviously the end of the Michael Crichton novels, which everything after that is basically still canon, but still different. And I thought, you know, we gotta continue that in a more or less the vibe what could have been. And maybe though 1998 is a bit of a stretch, you know, but I imagine that this park could have been started at 1998, and this is why it takes the name in there. So after the San Diego incident, obviously, in my imaginary timeline over here, InGen and so on have cooperated with some park builders, maybe even Disney, who knows. I totally would see Disney doing that. And they have started to build a real project, a real park on the mainland, so this is also why we are here in the western of the US. I at least envision it's kind of the temperate Malta map over here because I thought it's fitting the best, but we also have a very cool California tone in the game that you can set. There is like this option in the Sandbox setting that you can change the colors of the game's look, which is super cool. You can set that to Asia, to Japan, to Nevada, and it's really changing a lot how the game looks. And frankly, if you go for the California vibe paired with the Malta map, you get this very cool 90s kind of a little bit sepia influenced colors of the game, which is super cool. I really do like that. And there's also a very cool Chinese thing, I guess it is, that looks very funky, and this is the one I used in the intro shot. So yeah, it's gonna be very much focused on that, and I think with this timeline there's a good chance that they wanted to learn from their mistakes and hopefully make things better, and this is the park they came up with, and it's all led by InGen and not by the people who have basically failed on the mission on building San Diego. But you know, as there is a huge kind of attempt behind that, there's no reason you wouldn't attempt that again. So it's kind of a parallel timeline to Jurassic World, obviously, because you know, the idea of Jurassic World is that the second attempt to build a proper park after San Diego idea is gonna happen then on Isla Nublar again, which is Jurassic World. But however, in our timeline, there is this incident over here, and who knows, maybe we can play a little bit with the storytelling later on and turn that whole thing into a bit more of an incident itself. Who knows? But yeah, as for the architecture, you can see it on screen. We are going all into this kind of arcade vibe, 90s American mall arcade slash whatever. It's also maybe late Stranger Things kind of style, you know. I also drew a lot of these images from the mall in Stranger Things because I feel like this was also the vibe I was going for. But yeah, the entrance building was a bit of a tricky one. I figured, and this is what you can see, all these kind of concrete blocks lying down over here. I figured that there is collision in this game now, and you can see I was testing how I get the people walking through this building properly, and it turned out that if you set the building to collision off and you only use these kind of concrete blocks, then it works pretty well. I'm not sure if the concrete blocks are the best ones for that, but they seem to have a very precise collision box, which means if you use the concrete box without any scaling, it's exactly only this box that is blocking off the people. So wherever you put them, they actually act like a barrier and the people will not go into it. So this way you can make use of this and really control the guest flow, which makes the whole thing looks a lot more organic. I will use this a lot throughout this project to make them go into the buildings the way I want them to go in. I will use this a lot to make them go through several areas of a building that they usually wouldn't. But yeah, I also need to take a minute to praise Frontier again. If you want to see dinosaurs, by the way, there's a huge video I also released today, an arena with virtually any dinosaur in the game. All the dinosaurs are in the arena, including juvenile animals. I haven't looked at all of them, but if I did my stuff correctly, you can download the map, including all the blueprints. I will also make this entrance building and stuff available to you guys via the workshop as well, so you can grab it yourself if you want to build along or build your own Jurassic Park kind of 90s inspired thing, whatever you like. But I must praise Frontier for the pieces. I am a veteran when it comes to the Planet games. I've played over 5,000 hours in the Planet games, which is obviously the source of the piece-by-piece building. I should say it's definitely the series that has established this type of building in the genre, and so I'm very versatile with these things. But I also know my pieces. I know them by heart, and by heart I mean by heart. It's incredible. And then I have to say, the pieces we have in Jurassic World Evolution 3 are by far the best pieces Frontier has ever produced. They are ridiculously good in terms of the textures, in terms of versatility, completeness of the sets, really, really dang good. I love all of that. However, I need to skip over to the next topic because you can see I'm doing something really cool over here. I'm not sure if it made it to the thumbnail, but it most likely did make it to the intro shot. I'm making a sunken kind of monorail or train station, I should say. It really was a struggle to get this to work, but oh boy did it deliver at the end of the day. I still have a couple of little issues here and there to make sure to make it really look fine and working, but all over I'm very happy with it. It's just like, I put the arrival spot on the left-hand side of the other side of the station, not that one, the other one. And so my hope was that people arrive in the park, then they take the monorail over to this other spot, and so I can hide this entire spot on the left-hand side and make them only come out of this area. At the moment, though, that really doesn't work the way I envisioned it to work. It was a bit of a pity, and I'm not entirely sure what causes the issue. Eventually, I'll end up putting this all in one spot and just make this monorail go in a circle, and then just have this kind of effect of the monorail entering the station. But there are a couple of other ideas I also have to make this all look a bit better and work a bit better. It would still work if I put the entrance to another spot, but I also needed to kind of hide away this mess in the middle, which is that kind of tunnel. But I ended up with a very nice kind of idea to hide this whole thing, and it looks really cool. I also later on I found there is a dynamic texture piece. There's again, as I said, Frontier did think of everything, and this piece, I may have to actually get rid of this and just exchange it because it's even better. There is a dynamic texture piece, whatever that is, like a floor piece, that always uses the main texture of the park you're in. So now it has the main texture of the Malta map, or temperate map, but also if you're on the tropical map, the same piece will have the main texture of that one. So you can create terrain with a single piece. But I found this way later, so at this point, I think I have even fixed this already. Sorry though, I'm a bit confused because I'm recording all the episodes now, but I've been building the last 1.5 weeks also on this project, and I'm not entirely sure which episode this is in. I think I'm into episode 6 or 7 right now. It depends a little bit how I cut them, but I have already done quite a lot of work, and I do try to find the right sweet spot of how fast I'll make the episodes. This one is really on the fast side, so if this makes you dizzy, I'm sorry, but the next episodes will be a little bit slower. It's just like that I have so much content to fit into the first episode because it's important to set the scene, to make sure what we are going for and give you guys an idea. But we will also have a real-time part, so if you made it till this point in time, fear not, in a couple minutes we will have a look in game. If I did my stuff correct, I will have some saves of the different episodes and we can look at this. And if not, I'm gonna go into a further build one and try to avoid some spoilers. As you can tell, this is the sunken station, and again, this trick of having the benches everywhere later on over here is so crazy because people do not walk to benches but actually spawn on them, and I haven't really understood if it's also dependent on how many guests you have in your park anyways, or if they just spawn there randomly. It doesn't matter, but I did already have some situations where there were people sitting on these benches over here on the train station, which apparently is super nice when then a monorail comes in. I'm not sure if I got a shot of that for the intro, but it definitely looked fantastic when I saw that the first time. Yeah, doing some very clever hiding tricks here and there to make sure that the whole station is good. There are a couple of little quirks about the building system. I have already feedback to Frontier. I do hope they fix that. I mean, some is good. I wrote a hilariously big email, which is not that it's not bad at all. Don't get me wrong. It's a very solid start. I've really experienced a lot worse, especially also in the other Planet games. It's super rock solid. But there are some changes they did to the system in comparison to the Planet games, which especially will upset Planet players that may have wanted to transition into this game a little bit. So it won't be that much of a struggle for those who never played with a piece by piece before, but especially those you could have carried over will struggle a little because some controls are just completely different than they used to be in the Planet games, which took me a while to figure out. So I do hope they at least give us like a kind of a legacy version of the controls we have in the Planet games. I mean, obviously I would say they're better, but I'm biased, so don't quote me on that. If you're feeling like you're liking that, that's that. Also, I may admit that if you want to subscribe to the channel, I would obviously like that a lot, but there is also something good for you because I will release a mega tutorial for this game in the upcoming days. So towards the weekend, you should be able to see that. The idea is that you will be enabled to make every single bit you want in this game, build stuff like I do over here, but also play the game the way you want, with blueprints, without blueprints, the way you used to be playing Jurassic World Evolution 2 maybe in the past, or you're just completely new to the genre and you want to explore yourself. I'll give you all the tips and tricks you need. In case you want to know what a mega tutorial is, you'll find 2 or 3 mega tutorials on my channel already for other games. They're like a couple of hours long. I'll take you very slowly in real time through the building process. So if you like that, make sure to subscribe to the channel to not miss out on any of those stuff. But also this project and other projects will follow soon. I've got a lot of crazy stuff planned and already done, so it's gonna be very cool. Some pop culture references in the other builds itself, so it's gonna be cool. I'm very proud of it, as you can hopefully tell from the voiceover, but I'm rambling, okay? I'm talking too much about what could have been, what will be, and so on. Shall we just go into the present and have a look what this project looks like in game? I'm really curious to see what you guys say, so let's hop in. And welcome to the real-time part. As we can see, the monorail entering the station. So this is the station setup I've been talking about. The sunken monorail, it just comes in here and drives through, but unfortunately, obviously, it has to go into its own station. I couldn't make it stop here, which is a bit of a shame, but I think for the immersion, it's pretty damn cool. So flying out of this one, just to show you where we are located at, this is all the way here at the other side of our area, so the entrance is there. I deleted all the stuff for the next episode, so to not have too many spoilers. But yeah, so the main idea is that the arrival point that is in here carries over the people via the monorail to here. And as you can see, the latest patch, as I was talking about, is live. So Frontier has already done some patches in the early access, and it seemed to have fixed the issue. Now people are moving actually out of the monorail, and the exact effect I wanted to have is in place. That is pretty damn cool. I'm just gonna do the normal speed right now again. We are here in capture mode. Obviously, capture mode is back as well. And I've got some really cool stuff to show you guys. In case you are a Planet player, you have to be very strong today, because there are going to be 2 things you will be seeing, and you will never be able to play the Planet games the same as before, and you will be very sad and hoping that this is going to be carried over. And for everyone who is new to piece by piece building, this is something absolutely insane I'm going to show you. There's the monorail. I just want to show you one more time. It's driving over here, and should actually be that now a couple of people come out of here. I can't really see anything in there, but yeah, so people might actually be coming out of here. But the fact it's dark is really good, because then it's hiding all the non-styled things in here. Okay, so this is the entrance building. I've been talking a bit about this in the real-time part, so in the time-lapse, so I don't really need to talk too much about the overall architecture. This entrance plaza also is going to be made nicer in the future. It's just it's not a placeholder, but it's definitely, for the moment, being a little bit of a thing. There's one little caveat I wanted to quickly talk about. Let's go into the normal camera mode again, also in the standard camera. By the way, there are now 3 different camera modes. I'm not sure if there were already 3 in the last game, but I'm aware that there wasn't. The camera placement is where you can basically plop things down and it won't move too much. Then you have got your standard camera, which is very familiar for those who've played this one. And there is the new free look camera, which basically changes the pivot point. So while in the other 2 cameras, the pivot point is what you're looking at. So for example, if you look at the 98 over here, you can see pivoting around that one. When we're going to have the other camera, we're going to pivot around ourselves, which is a lot more handy when it comes to building and detailed building in here. So I promise you there is something absolutely amazing in here, and I'm going to show you right away. So here's the building menu. We have a bajillion pieces that are great, but I want to specifically go into the decals tab. Not only do we have a lot of really great decals that work absolutely fantastic, you can obviously paint them as well if you fancy doing so. They are really, really great, but those are not really new to players. They have seen those things, so nothing fancy. We have some puddles, which is so freaking awesome. So some really cool water effects. Let's just go down and have a look. There you have the little puddle. Oh, it's so good. It's like as if there's something sipping over. You could even put some signs on here, give a collision to it, and then people wouldn't walk over there because there's some wet stuff on the ground. We have a lot of other things like rust, for example, but there is some really, really damn cool stuff. And I'm gonna go specifically to the dirt items over here because they are the most prominent when it comes to this. So you can obviously attach them to buildings like here. But what is really great about them, I'm going to scale them bigger, they have a bit of a different way they work in comparison to the Planet games. So I'm going to plop them in right over to both sides. I think this is just fine. Yeah, maybe we're going to hide this there. I'm gonna hide this here. It doesn't really matter. Okay, we could also just move that over here, whatever. But one thing I want to show you, zooming in, you can see that now the decal isn't only floating in mid-air or something. What the heck is going on here with the camera? Let me just go quickly to the first person view. That's making things a lot more easy. So you can see there is the dirt. It looks absolutely fantastic, but you can also tell it's slightly going to the lower pieces as well. And in the Planet games, it's just a 2D texture. But in this game, it seems like the decal actually projects to the pieces below. So it's not really floating in front, it's really going onto the pieces. To make this even more obvious, I'm going to show you a different decal, because the other decals I found, they are really damn impressive too. We have got some large dirt items, and I'm gonna go, I think, is that, yeah, that's the one that looks the coolest. So I'm gonna put this here, like one here, the other one goes somewhere here, another one with the here, you know, and also just to be a bit more brutal on that, I guess, let's put one here. So, and we go back into the camera. First person camera. Obviously I didn't put them in the correct locations, but what you can see now is that they don't float. It just like really projects that to the pieces below. The same goes for the other ones, you know, there is like the dirt in front here, so you can see the dirt here, but it's going onto all the pieces, also the ones below. That looks so freaking good. And with the window, you can see that even better. You know, it's just really nicely aligned to all the pieces. That one in the middle does float a bit because maybe it's a tad bit too deep, but the other ones, the way it works looks so freaking good. It really adds so much, you know, so much character to the building. It's a bit too much. I have changed a couple of things in future episodes. I've done all that already. But just to showcase, these decals are among the best I've ever seen in any game. But not only that, there are so many decals of so many variants, and you can see like you've got all the danger signs, but you also have some drains you can put down. You've got some numbers and letters. You've got some concrete. What is that? Concrete groove, that's kind of the way it's called. You've got like all the type of road markings, and you don't need to spend hours to create your own road markings out of 3D pieces that take up a lot of performance. There is just so much good stuff in here. But my friends, this is only one. Now let's get to 2, and therefore we have to change into the dusk setting. Let's go into dusk and have a look what happens now. I am going to fly into the building because I've got prepared something for us. And here you can see something on the left hand side. There's like a little skull, and if I'm gonna press the skull and I'm gonna remove the skull, you will see something now. You will see some shadows reflecting in the background. And for those of you who have no idea about the Planet games or whatever, they will think like, yeah, that's just how it should be, right? Yes, but we have a full ray tracing in here. In Planet Coaster, for example, we don't have in-game lights that cast shadows. The problem is the lights are light sources, but the pieces are not affected from them. So you only have shadows from the global light source, which is the sun. In our case over here, we do have shadows from the sun. As you can tell, when people walk by, you will be able to see their shadows pop into the walls. But you will also have shadows from this. And to make it even more obvious, let me just click onto this one and disable that one, and we're also going to disable that one. So you can see all of a sudden there is this very heavy shadow to the center. Enabling this one is not only creating more shadows, it's also making the shadows themselves more subtle, just as if you had a real light setting. You can also see that the lighting on the skull is different. Now, we can also change the light color. And I'm also going to show that into green is better. So now you can also tell that it's not only the shadow themselves, but also real ray traced shadows. That means bounce light is included in the shadows. They are not fully black anymore. They merge into each other. The color of that skull is changing depending on the direction you're rotating that. Just look at the light even inside of the model. There you have it. It is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. And this will make for some insane options to create light sources. You can even make your full light setup if you want to. This blew my mind when I saw that, and you can imagine how cool that looks with that and other things planned. There is something coming tomorrow. I would love to put a little teaser in, but then you would already know too much. It's just too good. Please, you have to be here tomorrow. This is gonna be one of my best builds ever in any game. It's so insane. But yeah, what can I say? This is absolutely phenomenal. I will be doing a lot with these things. This is so cool. Also, you can see now the neon lights outside are activated as well. You know what? Let's actually go into Sandbox settings, and we're gonna put this into night, and we're gonna make it into weather, calm, infrequent storms, default level settings. I wanna have just rain. Can I? Okay, well, actually, then just do that and say apply. I'm not sure if it's gonna change to rain immediately, but so this is how it looks at nighttime, and you can see there's a lot of glowing going on here, maybe because of the decals as well. But if you're in here, it's a bit more quiet. But yeah, obviously this is like how neon lights would work. If you go in here, these lights are a bit more stable. They don't wobble as much and don't glow as much. But yeah, it's again also depending on your position, things change. And I mean, this is like super bright over here anyways, but we've got another neon light up here glowing. Look at all the colors, how the affect the building, and it's a full 3D suite. You can build whatever you want in this game now. It's actually now the best 3D suite you have outside of actual 3D suites, I guess. It's so freaking good. You can also M. Oh, okay, we can go actually to map immediately. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, can I go back? Okay, no, this is still... I'm out of this camera then. Okay, whatever. Yeah, well, can I say, my friends, this is my absolute favorite project for the moment in this game, because it absolutely offers a lot. I want to also quickly talk about the idea. So... as I said, this is going to be my main project. I want to ensure that this is not going to be boring and just like on this type of architecture. We are going to explore a lot of different architectural styles in the region of the 90s. So we will have some funny things, we will have some movie inspired stuff, we will have a lot of nice little nods to the OG trilogy, we will have odd nods to the newer trilogy, we will have some pop culture references in here as well, because that's what the 90s offer as well. There are a couple of really cool things I'm planning, and I have already built out 4 to 5 episodes, so there's already a lot planned for the upcoming days. So I would be super happy. Yeah, the hype got the better of me, guys. I've been recording so much in the last couple of days for you. Yeah. If you want to support the channel, the easiest way of doing so is by simply subscribing to the channel. I know it's a pain because every single YouTuber is going to talk to you like, hey, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. But unfortunately, in these times of weird changes to the algorithm and blah, 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 this is the most steady currency we have. Subscribing to the channel is the easiest way to tell the algorithm, hey, there is something good happening, let's focus more on that one. And I know that over 60% of the people watching on a regular basis are not subscribed to the channel anyway. So it would be a great help if you could offer me or just actually go and subscribe to the channel. I will be then present to your front desk and your feed. So that would be helpful as well. And otherwise, just like the video, comment down below what you think of the project, be involved, give me some ideas which animals you want to see in here. I would be more than delighted and would love to welcome you guys. There's a lot coming. And in case you want to see dinosaurs, this is going to happen in the other video I have done for today. This is the huge arena build I did. Make sure to check that out as well. It's live on the channel already, so if you haven't seen it already, make sure to watch that one. We have a huge arena with all individual species in-game in there, including the juveniles. It's going to be a huge one, and if I don't forget, I will also upload the different blueprints for you as well. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed as much as I did enjoy creating this for you. There's so much more coming. Please stick with me. Keep an eye on the channel. There's so much good stuff coming. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe, blah, blah, blah. All the kind of YouTube outro insert here. I talk to you in the next one, and bye.